In this video session, let us understand what are different gasifier, what are the advantage of gasifier, why gasifiers are used. To start with the what is gasifier, a number of non-combustion methods are available for converting the biomass into energy. These processes convert the raw biomass into a variety of gaseous, liquid or solid fuel that can be directly used in the power plant for energy generation. The carbohydrate in the biomass, which comprised of oxygen, carbon and hydrogen, can be broken down into variety of chemicals, some of which are useful fuels. This conversion can be done in three ways. One is thermochemical, second one biochemical, and the third one is chemical. To start with, what is thermochemical? When the plant matter is heated but not burned, it breaks down into various gases, liquid and solid. This process we generally see in kitchen also. Burning of the corn in the kitchen, keeping on the flame. We are actually not converting into charcoal, but off burnt, right? So this process is somewhere familiar in our day-to-day life also. These products can be further processed and refined into useful fuel such as methane and alcohol. Biomass gasifier capture methane released from plants and burn it in a gas turbine to produce electricity. So we know that the gas turbines works under Brayton cycle, where I want some air generally is taken, but here it is a gas has been compressed, right? And of course we don't have this gas can be heated by means of a furnace or by some other agent, and here the turbine will be mounted on the same shaft, right, of a gas turbine, and here we'll get the it has been coupled with the alternator, right, and we'll get the power generation. This way I can take this biogas which has been generated directly into the in a production of a gas turbine to get the electricity or electrical energy. So when I am having the quantity in a bigger form, this process is much more useful. Gasification. The thermochemical process that converts the biomass into combustible gas is called as a producer gas. The producer gas contains carbon monoxide, hydrogen, water vapor, carbon dioxide, tar vapor and ash particles. The gasification, a process that uses heat, pressure and steam to convert material directly into a gas composed primarily of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. The gasification technologies rely on four important engineering factors. First one is a gasification reactor atmosphere, that is a level of oxygen or air content. The second one is the reactor design. The third one is the internal and external heating. How you are going to use the internal heating, or are you using the external one? Then operating temperature. At what range you are operating, this plays a very important role. The product of gasification, we get hydrogen gas, generally called as syngas, then hydrocarbon liquid, that are referred as oils, and char, that is a carbon black and a ash. The syngas is primarily carbon monoxide and hydrogen, more than 85% by volume, and smaller quantity of carbon dioxide and methane. The operation system of a gasifier. It is a complete gasification takes place in 4 stages. One is drying the feedstock. This is generally done up to 120 degrees centigrade. Pyrolysis, which has been done at a temperature between 200 to 600 degrees centigrade. Combustion, that takes place between 900 to 1200 degrees centigrade, and reduction, that takes place from 900 to 600 degrees centigrade. The typical volumetric composition of the biomass based producer gas plant are as follows. Carbon monoxide, that is around 20 to 22%, hydrogen, that is from 15 to 18%, methane from 2 to 4%, carbon dioxide from 9 to 11%, nitrogen, that plays an important or a major role, that is a 50 to 54%, and along with these gases we'll get tar and the particulate matters. So the next sketch shows you how you can draw a pie chart for the producer gas constituent. So you can see the nitrogen plays a bigger role, or it is at a range of 40 to 60%. So the major this one is a nitrogen. Then comes is a carbon monoxide, then is a carbon dioxide, of course hydrogen is there 10 to 20%, and methane gas, that is the very important constituent of a producer gas. Use of gasifier gas. Variety of thermal application includes cooking, drying and water heating, steam generation, and mechanical and electrical power generation, fuel for IC engine. The heating oil of the gases are between 4000 to 5000 kilojoule per kg. Second process is a biochemical process. What is meant by biochemical process? Bacteria, yeast, enzymes also break down into carbohydrates. The fermentation, the process used to make wine, change of biomass liquid into alcohol, a combustible fuel. So we have seen how the bagasse can be used to make the sugar, and molasses, the outcome or the byproduct of the sugar industry, make use of this type of a process. A similar process is used to turn corn into grain alcohol or ethanol, which is mixed with the gasoline or gashol. Also, when bacteria break down biomass, methane and carbon dioxide are produced. This methane can be captured in sewage treatment plant, landfill, and burned for a heat and power. Third one is the chemical method. In the chemical method, we have the biomass oil like soybean, canola oil can be chemically converted into liquid fuel similar to diesel fuel into gasoline additive. For example, cooking oil from the restaurant has been used as a source of making biodiesel for trucks. So after 2 or 3 times of frying, they are not fit, or as per the Food Corporation of India, it should be used only once. But even we have seen in the restaurant they may be using it for 2 or 3 times for the frying. After that, the residue, that is not a waste, that can be used as a biodiesel in combination with the other fuel as an additive for the trucks. A better way to produce the biodiesel is to use algae as a source of oil. Let us see the type of digester. First one is a updraft or a counter current gasifier. Second one is a downdraft or a co-current gasifier. The third one is a cross draught gasifier, and the last one is the fluidized bed gasifier. What is the updraft type or a counter current gasifier? This is the oldest and simplest type, easy to build and operate. The air enters at the bottom. From the sketch you can, it is clearly seen. The air enters from this part, right? The air enters to the perforated region from the bottom combustion chamber. The producer gas is collected at the top. The gas is collected at the top of the gasifier. The combustion reaction occurs near the grate at the bottom. So here you can see the grate. So here the different zones you can see here, right? Starting with the hurt zone, reduction zone, distillation zone, and a drying zone. The gas produced has no ash but contains tar, right? It is a sticky mass, though we don't get the ash, and we will get the water vapor. Updraft gasifiers are suitable for tar-filled fuel like charcoal. Okay, so one more sketch, you can see it very clearly what is meant by. So here air enters and the gas comes out at the different zones where the reaction takes place, and this ash zone, as told earlier, ash in the form of tar is obtained. So as I told, it will be giving higher efficiency. Second one is a low gas temperature at the exit, excessive amount of tar, that is in the form of instead of ash, and poor loading capability. The major advantages are it is simple in construction and operation, high charcoal burnout and internal heat exchange leading to low gas exit temperature and high equipment efficiency, possibility of operation with the many types of feedstock. The next one is a downdraft or co-current gasifier. In this primary gasification, air is introduced at the above the oxidation zone in the gasifier. The producer gas is removed at the bottom of the apparatus so that fuel and gas move in the direction as shown. The acid and distillation product from the fuel must pass through a glowing bed of the charcoal and therefore are converted into permanent gases: hydrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and methane. Depending on the temperature of the hot zone, the residence of time of the vapor, a more or less complete breakdown of the tar is achieved. The main advantage of downdraft gasifier lies in the possibility of producing a tar-free gas suitable for engine application. In the earlier way we have seen in the updraft, the tar formation is there, but if you don't want a tar formation, then downdraft gasifier are more preferred. You can see here the air enters at in this region, right, and the gas, right, the fuel comes from the top and the gas goes from the bottom. This is the difference between updraft and downdraft gasifiers. So here you can see the different zones, that is the drying, pyrolysis takes place at here, and oxidation and reduction that takes place in the two different regions. So this is once again the temperature, by mentioning what temperature the reduction zone takes place, that is around 9 to 600, and oxidation takes place from 900 to 1200. Pyrolysis that takes place between 200 to 600, and drying zone. So initially when the biomass is taken, the drying takes place, then it comes to the pyrolysis zone, then oxidation zone, and the reduction zone, and you can see the ash pit at the bottom. A major drawback of the downdraft equipment is the inability to operate on a number of unprocessed fuels. Low density of material give rise to flow problems, excessive pressure drop. The solid fuel must be pulverized before use. The downdraft gasifier also suffer from the problem associated with the high ash content fuel to large extent than updraft gasifier. The third one is a cross-draft gasifiers. Uses the charcoal as a fuel. Charcoal gasification result in very high temperature, that is around 1500 degrees centigrade and higher. In the oxidation zone, which can lead to the material problems. In draught gasifier, insulation against this high temperature is provided by fuel charcoal itself. Air enters the gasifier through a water cooled nozzle. So here you can see there is a nozzle, right, and it is a water cooled nozzle mounted on the side of the firebox. The gas is produced in the horizontal zone in the front of the nozzle and passes through the vertical grate into the hot gas port on the opposite side. So air enters here and gas also comes out. That's why it has been called as a cross one. This type of gasifier respond most rapidly for the changes of a gas production. This sketch shows you once again the detailed parts of the cross draft gasifier. The advantages are very small scale at which it can be operated. Installation is below 10 kilowatt. Shaft work can under certain condition be economically feasible. The disadvantages are the minimal tar converting capability and consequent need of a high quality charcoal. The next one and the last one is the fluidized bed gasifier. Is the most versatile and any biomass can be gasified, best suited for high ash content like rice husk. Problem commonly encountered with both the up and downdraft gasifier are lack of bunker flow, slugging, and extreme pressure drop over the gasifier. A design approach aiming at a removal of above difficulties is fluidized bed gasifier is illustrated in the figure. What is meant by fluidized bed? Here in this region we are having a particular velocity and the material will be flowing in a particular velocity, right, and the contact time of the material will be very frequent, and in the boilers we are using for the fluidized bed boilers, though coal is the fuel, the the river sand or crushed refractory are used as a fluidized bed material. Then because this fluidized bed material get heated and pass the heat to the fuel, which otherwise are to be supplied externally. So you can reduce the heating element required over here, and the contact period or the turbulence created by this fluidized material on the feed will be very much influencing. Therefore, it can be used effectively, which is not done in the earlier gasifier which you have studied. So the fluidized bed conversion gasifier, the producer gas or syngas will be comes out at the top only. The biomass is fed at the center. In this case of biodigester, air is blown through the bed of the solid particle at a sufficient velocity to keep this state of suspension. The bed is externally heated and feedstock is introduced as soon as sufficient high temperature is reached. The fuel particles are introduced at the bottom of the reactor, quickly mixed with the bed material and almost instantaneously heated up to the bed temperature. As a result of this treatment, the fuel is pyrolyzed very fast, resulting in a component mixed with the relatively large amount of gaseous material. Further gasification and tar conversion reaction occur in the gas phase. The schematic view of the fluidized bed combustion is air is blown at the bed and at the bed of the solid particle. The bed is originally externally heated and feedstock is introduced as soon as sufficient high temperature is reached. The fuel particles are introduced at the bottom of the reactor, very quickly mixed with the bed material. As a result of the treatment, fuel is pyrolyzed very fast, resulting in the component mixed with the relatively large amount of a gaseous material. Further gasification and tar conversion reaction occur in the gas phase. Most systems are equipped with an internal cyclone in order to minimize char blowout as much as possible. Ash particles are also carried away at the top of the reactor and they have to be removed from the gas stream if the gas is used in the engine application. The advantages of a fluidized bed gasifier are fuel flexibility, that a calorific value from 800 to 8000 kilocalorie per kg can be used, good heat storage capacity, high combustion efficiency, high output rate, consistent rate of combustion, usage of fuel with the high moisture content, uniform temperature throughout the furnace volume, and their ability to deal with the fine grained material without the need of pre-processing. Let us see what are the disadvantages or drawbacks of the fluidized bed gasifier. High tar content, that is around 500 milligram per meter cube of gas, incomplete carbon burnout, then poor response to the load changes, control equipment is difficult, hence very small fluidized bed gasifier are not foreseen, and application range must be tentatively set at about 500 kilowatt shaft power.